Hello YouTube. We have here our latest survival project. This is a Faraday cage or Faraday shed. This is phase one. It's one heck of a phase. As you see, it's basically 2x4 and some 2x6 construction with some plywood. Nothing fancy. I'm not going to win any builders awards here, as you can see, but it will get the job done. This is a wooden frame, and phase two will deal with the insulation of the metal lining material, which will hopefully repulse a electrostatic discharge of an EMP or anything of that nature. So this is phase one, and you'll see in the next couple videos how we end up going. Okay, YouTube. We're still in the throes of part two here for the EMP Proof outdoor shed, Faraday box, whatever you want to call it. Again, this is largely 2x4 and plywood construction, some 2x6, 2x4 for support struts and everything. The dimensions are 4 foot wide. I was going to go 4x8 by 4 foot tall all around, so I could just cheat and use just the plywood dimensions of 4x8, but it would have just been too short to stow what, adequately stow what I'm looking to stow in here. Motorcycle, dirt bike kind of thing, protected, generator, get that in here as well, and get a little bit more headroom here with, so we're going with 6 tall by 8 deep by 4 wide, shave off about 3 inches or so for the 2x4s, framing it up. And also, as you see, I've started with my metal mesh, and it's simply, it is screening material. It's aluminum, and that should do it. And as you see here, I've got the bottom, I'm going all the way around, and I essentially triple plied the metal mesh, the aluminum mesh underneath. You don't see it because I've got the plywood steps, and I've got that supported by 2x4 underneath to support it properly. And again, you can see detail that I've 2 to 3 plied it just to make sure that I've got a good 360 degree envelope of mesh material here that should insulate it from an EMP, what have you. So if you plan to do this yourself, make sure you double or triple it up where you're going to have contact. My plan is also to cover up the mesh on the sides here in the end as well with some plywood, so incidental contact won't tear a big hole in the mesh and provide a way for to lose integrity, I suppose. So still working on it. I'll show you another piece here, our next part, when part 2 is finished. Later. Hey, what's up YouTube? It's the Survivalist here again, and this is part 3, still stuck on phase 2 of my EMP Proof Faraday box, cage, storage shed, whatever you would like to call it. Getting there. As you can see, I've got my aluminum mesh, commonly known as our window wiring, or window screen, and I've pretty much got it again deployed out around the whole box underneath that 2x4, and haven't tacked it all in yet, but that will be one of the final pieces. As you can see, the open frame, I'm just going to cover that up with some basic 1/4 inch plywood, and I may even think about, I picked up one of these sheets here, it's called the radiant barrier decking. That's that material there. I've got it on the top, a little extra top cover for top down protection, but again, I've got my mesh underneath as well. But I'm thinking about maybe getting some more of that decking. It's at Home Depot. It's readily available and cheap, so I may do that. And my plywood decking I may reinforce and put this over my screen, so when I'm stowing stuff in here, I'm not puncturing my net or my envelope and ruining it. So I may go with regular plywood inside, covered up just as I did on the ground, and then go in here. But still just gotta tuck this in, tack this up here. I'll tack it to the plywood, and then we'll get to phase 3, which will be the enclosure cover, and we're going to be facing some challenges there, and we'll address that in another episode. All right, YouTube, later on. Bye. Hello, YouTube. It's the Survivalist again, and we're still working on our Faraday shed, EMP cage, box. Again, I like to call it many things. You know, why label things, right? It can be anything it wants to be. But we've just about completed the mesh envelope, and as you see, I've been a little redundant, been a little liberal with my my window screen here. It's aluminum again, so it should stand up against an EMP pulse. Again, the trick is you could have 360-degree coverage, so that's kind of where I'm getting at. But as you've seen from last time, the envelope is here. I've got the outside cladding of the plywood completely enclosing it. So I've got to work on my hinge door next. And as you see at the bottom, I've got some extra coverage here. That's going to be part of that's going to be my grounding, and another part is going to be part of the gasket. I'm going to frame some mesh on all 3 other sides of the box here, do kind of a loop gasket, and that way I'm hoping to get positive contact on the last mesh side on the inside of my closure door. So that's where we're going with today, and hopefully we'll be complete here in another couple hours and have this thing largely knocked out. Then the next phase is we'll clad up the inside with decking as well, or plywood siding, and that way we have the mesh protected from some throwing stuff in here. I'm not tearing the envelope and creating an opportunity to have everything get shorted out. So that's pretty much the last phase after I get my door on. But first things first. So that's it, YouTube. We'll check you out later. Again, this is Survivalist, and get ready. Hey YouTube, it's a Survivalist again, and we have made some progress. I'm happy to say I'm almost finished this this project. Everything always seems to be a lot simpler on paper, and then when you go to apply it in the real world, it becomes just that much more difficult. But we're getting it done, and as you see, I've got the door here. There's the box. Here's the hinge door. Nothing fancy with the hinges. Home Depot hinges, 3 of them, and I've got just some pieces to emphasize on. I've got some stay hooks at the top and bottom that I installed, and that helps seal the box and the gasket inside. And again, it's nothing fancy, but it works. Just folded up some extra screening, bunched it up. I've got screening here, so it makes when it closes up, it forms a seal as a gasket. And in time, as it gets conditioned, I may have to, here retool it and straighten it out to make sure it has positive pressure and stays connected and makes a sealed envelope. But right now, it will do it. And as we seal this up, hasp it up, that helps seal it up. And you've got, without these pieces here, these stay hooks, it won't go. But with the stay hooks, There's a seal there, I promise you. I've stared at it for quite a while. And let's stay hooking it. Seals it up pretty good now. This isn't, this isn't airtight. I've got a seam there that runs along. Let some air in, and because I don't want to cook anything in here, I just want to stow things and keep it protected from a solar flare or EMP, or heaven forbid if any of that crazy stuff happens. But this should do it, and that's the EMP box in its rough stage. And as I mentioned before, I'm going to set up the cladding. That's the last phase. I've got a dirt bike that I'm going to stow in here. That's one of the primary pieces. It's going to be in here, but I'm also going to be able to do some decking around here about after the 3-foot high level. So I got a good 2.5-foot mom's attic, like in the U-Hauls, that I'm planning to have. I can stow some other sensitive electronic stuff, outdoor stuff mainly. I don't think I'm going to be putting my laptops in here. There's smaller Faraday cages that you can do. You get those aluminum cans. Aluminum trash can will do it with a good seal for your laptops and stuff. But the outdoor stuff, generators, power tools, they're electronically controlled, variably operated, so this would be a good place for your modern day tools, and such as something like that. I think there's some variable control on those, and there's some electronics, and those would be susceptible, so those will probably go in the shed, and that's why I have a hasp. So that's it for now, and we'll probably do one more final one when we get the cladding up, and maybe do the mom's attic. So till then, YouTube, we'll see you around. Stay prepared, or get prepared, or do both. Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's a very tired and glad it's done survivalist here, and you're looking at Mom's attic and the lower part of the shed here. This is pretty much the finished product. Again, the EMP shelter box shed. Again, it's in a complete envelope of aluminum window screening, doubled up in most places, and as you see, I've got the cladding in to protect the workable areas. Maybe someday I'll get up to here and clad that over, but I shouldn't have much contact up there. And as you see, Mom's attic, as I mentioned before, and primarily this was for this puppy right here, the Apoca cycle, as I like to call it. For 80 miles per gallon, one of the most mobile vehicles on the planet. I want to have this this sheltered and insulated from an EMP if it were to go down. So that's this is the resting place for this puppy right here, and I'll probably get a generator in here as well, and then again some extra storage space for tools, electronically controlled tools, and other critical things that would work out. Your heat sensitive stuff you don't want to put in here. Don't put your laptops and your outdoor EMP box, not advisable. But just a few other thoughts before we get going here. I've just got just a straight up plywood finish right now. I may weatherproof it. I may get to that. Maybe in the fall when it's cool, but for right now, it should hold up for quite a while. For the long term, for years and years and years. If you plan on keeping this operational, you'll want to weatherproof it. So that's it. So the Survivalist signing off. Hope this is helpful to you. I'd love to hear comments, your thoughts, how I could have done this better so I can kick myself later or whatnot. That'd be great. So later on, Survivalists, peace, love, and zombies. Out.